Great. My name is Benita. I'm part of United Generation. Tonight we want to start our first series, and it's about worship. Tonight we're going to be talking about live a life of worship. So I pray that you guys will receive something new from God. So here we go. Why live a life of worship? Because as Christian, we're all called to worship God. And the Bible says in Romans 12 verse 1 that we have to give our lives as living sacrifice to God. And live a life of worship has two aspects. The first one is the aspect of revelation. In our lives, there's always a time where God reveals himself to us. He can talk, it can be through situations, it can be through different ways, it can be through vision, it can be through any situation that God will allow you to go through so it can meet you at that stage. And the second aspect is the response. We can only worship something that we know. We can only worship God because we have seen Him somehow in our own lives. And worship is a response to the revelation that we have received from God. But what is worship? So we're just going to redefine what worship is and what worship isn't. Worship is our daily devotion to God. Worship is not about a church or corporate gathering. Worship is about you spending time with God on a daily basis. The Bible says in John 10:27, "My sheep listen to my voice, I know them and they follow me." You can only recognize the voice of someone that you've heard more than once. I'm just going to repeat that. You can only recognize the voice of someone you've heard more than once. And that's exactly what happened with God. You can only recognize His voice if you know how to spend time with Him. And that's what happened. We need to spend time with Him on a daily basis. I love what someone said once. He said, there are two times to worship. When you feel like it and when you don't feel like it. That's how it works. You can worship. You can wake up in the morning. You just don't feel like it. You've got work. You've got family. You've got stuff to do. But you are called to worship because that's the reason why we live. And a true worshipper knows that it's not about the place. You don't have to be in front of people. You don't have to be leading worship to know how to worship. You don't need to be in a specific place to know how to worship. A true worshipper knows that it's not about the place, but the person they're coming to see. When you know that you're going to a place to meet God, you're going to meet Him. Sometimes we just get to the point where we go to a concert, we go to a church, and we're just going to receive something. And when the sermon is not what we're looking for, or the worship is not what we're looking for, by the end of the service, we're not happy with the sermon, we're not happy, oh, we didn't have this praise song, or we didn't have this worship song. And what we start blaming the pastor, we start blaming the musicians. And that's why I think when we worship God, it's not about getting something back. It's about giving ourselves as a gift to God. We say, God, you've done so much in my life, Lord. You've done everything on the cross, and my life is a living sacrifice for you. I'm coming to worship. It doesn't matter if I'm going to get something or not. My life is yours, and I worship you no matter what. So I just want to encourage you today that worship needs to be something that you do on a daily basis. And even if you don't see things happening your way, it's about you giving your life as a living sacrifice for God. I hope you've been blessed today.